Hi everyone, welcome back to Social Studies. We are moving into Social Studies vocabulary for week 9. We are going to be starting our new unit today, which is going to be talking about the 5 themes of geography. So that brings us to our objective, which students will examine the 5 themes of geography to better understand the key concepts as they study the world in which they live in. So this unit is going to be very interesting as we explore all different things that happen within our world. The 5 themes that we are really going to focus in on are location, place, human-environment interaction, movement, and region. Now, I do want to say there is a lot of vocabulary for this unit. However, please do not get overwhelmed. As we go through our social studies throughout this week, we will be breaking these vocabulary words down into more reasonable ways for us to understand. So I know it seems like a lot right now, but when we really get into the vocab, we will go into it more deeper. This is just a quick understanding of our vocab. Our first word is location. Say location. Good. A location is a particular place where something is. So for example, your house is located in a particular place. You could log your address in to a map like Google Maps or iMaps, and it would pinpoint where your house is in that location. Our next word is place. Say place. Very good. A place is what a location is like. So think about now you have found the location of your house. Think about what that place looks like. How would you describe what the outside looks like? How would you describe what the inside looks like? That is one small place. However, when we're talking about place here, you can also think of different places all over the world. For example, in the United States where we live, there are different states. We live in the state of Michigan, and within Michigan, we have different cities that are located in Michigan. And if you go to different places of Michigan, those different places may look different than the other place. So for example, northern Michigan in winter may look a little different than southern Michigan in the winter. They might all have snow, but the amount of snow might be different. Our next word is human-environment interaction. Go ahead and say that. Good. Human-environment interaction. This is the relationship between people and the environment. So I have some pictures here. The first one up here, we have a person who is going through a field and they are harvesting whatever plant or whatever crop they had planted there. And in the bottom picture here, I have a picture of 2 people who are working with a lot of bees, is what it looks like. So they are doing something within our environment with bees. We all have a relationship with the environment. Some people may have more of a relationship with the environment if you are a farmer or if you have a job in the future that is directly related to the environment. But even if you don't, we all have human interaction with the environment because we live in it every day. If you decide to have a piece of trash and throw it on the side of the road, you are interacting with the environment. But is that in a negative or a positive way? That would be in a negative way. So our human interactions with the environment can be both negative and positive. And like I said before, some people have more interactions with the environment than other people. Our next word is movement. Say movement. Good. Movement. How and why people and places are connected. So if you look outside your window at home, you might see a road outside your house. What is the purpose of that road? Well, it would be to get you from one place to another, right? So movement is us traveling along these roads, it's traveling along waterways. And there's also a way to explain why people and why these places are connected. So think about that for our future lessons. What is the purpose and why are these places connected? Next word, say region. Good. Region is an area with an unifying characteristic. So over here we have regions of the United States here. So this is all the colored picture here. This is the United States of America. We see different regions in this map. Find Michigan and look at what color Michigan is. Good, yeah, it's kind of a brownish-ish color. So Michigan, if I can zoom in here, we are located right here. Them putting us with these other states, that is just telling us that we are similar to those states. We are unified regions because our characteristics are similar. That might be our weather patterns, that might be our different land features that we have in our states. They are very similar. And we will talk more about what this means to be broken up into regions. Our next vocabulary word is 5 themes of geography. Go ahead and say 5 themes of geography. Good, and these are the themes that I talked about at the beginning of this video. These are themes that we just use to study all the different aspects of geography because there is a lot to unpack with geography, and breaking it down into these 5 themes will help us understand geography better. Our next word is relative location. Say relative location. Good. This is where something is in relation to something else. So have you ever been outside or on a walk and somebody's trying to tell you where something is and they're saying, oh, it's right past that big oak tree down the road. That's using the location of where something is in relation to something else. That's using that big tree to explain where something else is. So take a look at this picture here. I have a little boy here, and I have a castle and some mountains in the background. So maybe I'm trying to explain to this little boy where the mountains are. Okay, so if I'm doing that, I could say something like, oh, to see or to get to the mountains, you need to go down the path, past the flowers, and then behind the big castle, you will see the mountains. So I'm using the castle to help me explain where the mountains are. So you're not saying exactly where it is. You're not, for example, putting an address in. You're not putting a coordinate in. You're using an object to help explain where another object is. All right? So in comparison to that, this is relative location. Our next word is absolute location. This is the exact location of a place. So you're not just guessing, you're not saying, oh, it's over there past the trees. You have an exact coordinate or an exact address that you can tell somebody where that location is. So your home address would be an absolute location of where you live because it is the exact location of a place. This here is just a picture of Michigan. And then zoomed in here, you can see there's a red area in Michigan. That's just zoomed in here, and then a red spot even further showing the exact location of a certain place in Michigan. All right, our next word, say coordinate grid. Good. This should look very familiar because we worked with coordinate grids before Christmas break. It's a grid on a map or a globe that helps us find an absolute location. So for example, maybe I wanted to find the absolute location of, I think this is a hospital down here with an ambulance. I want to find the absolute location of that hospital? Well, I can use my coordinate grid here to help find that absolute location. Any guesses on what you think the coordinate would be? Pause the video if you need more time to think about it. Well, remember, we always start with our letters first, so I would go from the hospital and go up to my G here, so I know it's going to be G, and then I go the opposite way down here to my numbers and find my 7. So the coordinate here for the hospital would be G, comma, 7. You could also use relative location here to find different objects, but for this coordinate grid, this is really going to help us find the absolute location, so an exact area that we're looking for. Our next word here is environment. Say environment. Very good. Environment, the natural characteristics of a place. So take a look at this picture here down in the corner. This is a beautiful picture of our environment. It might not be our environment where we live, but on our earth, this is the environment of this specific place. Take a look here and see what characteristics you can name from the photo. I'll give you a second. You can pause the video if you need more time. You are thinking of different natural characteristics of this photo here. Again, pause the video if you need more time, but a characteristic that I see would be green, tall grass. And it looks like down here, if I zoom in, let's see if I can zoom in here, there we go. I see green hills in front of this person, and then way farther back, I see a very tall volcano in the background. You can even see some smoke coming out of the top of that volcano. So these different characteristics really help you understand what the environment looks like, because lots of different environments in our world may look different from one to the next. Our last vocabulary word, say movement and migration. Very good. This is why and how people, ideas, and materials move from one place to another. Now, we're going to talk about this a lot more throughout the week, but think about it. Why do you think somebody would move from one place to another? Take a look at this photo here. We have a woman who's carrying a baby, and then she has some animals with her that are carrying lots of supplies for her. They look like they're going on a long journey from one place to another. Why do you think she might be going somewhere else? Just keep that in mind as we go through our unit, and I hope you enjoyed our vocabulary video. And like I said, we will be talking about these topics a lot more throughout the week, so it's okay that if you don't understand one or a couple words completely, because we are going to dig into this a lot further. All right, enjoy the rest of your day.